All right, so WandaVision, we all watched it.
Yes.
Awesome. What did you think?
I liked it. It was not, the greatest, finale ever, but it was good. I mean, it wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It was just a good ending. And I know that a lot of people, because I saw all the hate. I didn't watch it till last night, and I saw all the hate online because there were so many people upset about it. It was like Game of Thrones level all over again.
Yeah, I saw that you said that. What were people upset about? Because like in my circle, everyone loved it.
Apparently, the people on like Twitter and Reddit and whatnot had these grand hopes of what was going to happen. Like they were expecting Wanda to tear open a portal and like Magneto and Wolverine to walk through, and that was going to be joining the two universes because the Pietro actor was the guy who played Quicksilver on the X-Men movies. So they were really like that's what people were hoping for. I guess they were hoping that this was introducing the
and that
X-Men
was definitely
universe.
Marvel's fault to have gone that direction and be like, actually, we weren't doing that.
Oh, I mean, like they were so many people were trolling. I mean, even Paul Bettany, he had posted on Twitter, look out for an epic cameo from one of my favorite actors and all this stuff. And like everyone's like, oh my God, who could it be? Who could it be? It could be anybody. And then, at the end of it, he tweeted, it's like, hey, it was me. Because there were two of them.
Yeah, he was like, oh, I got to act with this amazing actor I've always wanted to work with.
Yeah, it was like, oh,
and,
these
and
guys.
if you actually listen to the clip of him saying it, like it's very clearly he's talking about himself.
Yeah.
So this happened weeks ago, so people had time to build all kind of crazy rumors and stories about it.
That's pretty funny trolling. I like.
Oh
that.
no, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And like I think Marvel just took it and just went with it, and everyone had these huge hopes and ambitions, dreamed up, and then it ended how it did, and everyone was just like, wait, there's no Magneto?
Yeah,
What?
I know they also mentioned, like Marvel mentioned, this would lead into the Doctor Strange movie, which is called Multiverse of Madness, and now it is clear that it's maybe because one that would have something to do with that, but like people took it for like, oh yeah, so Doctor Strange is gonna show up. There's gonna be multiple dimensions, and mutants will come back, and all that stuff, and basically the people are mad because their theories didn't come to fruition.
Yeah, it's kind of Star Wars all over again with like, well, that's not how I would have written it.
Yeah. But like if you were paying attention, like, because people were saying like up to the point where the story actually got on episode 8, it was clear that they wouldn't add more characters or stuff like that because the story had to end and it wasn't going that direction. So I mean, it would be kind of silly to think like in the last episode they would cram all these theories and all these characters or cameos, because it wouldn't make any sense. I actually like a lot the ending. I think it was awesome.
Yeah, I guess I'm lucky to have not been around a lot of that buzz, because I went into it with reasonable expectations and I got what I was expecting. So
yeah.
The only thing I was a little let down by was the Vision versus Vision fight, because it went really well for a couple minutes, and then he's like, actually, I'm not the real Vision. And he's like, wait, what? Okay.
Yeah. So I actually like that, because that discussion, like that discussion they have in the middle of the fight.
That's great. That's fantastic.
It was like the most Vision thing to do. Like it was very on brand.
Two AIs actually talking, and like the best part was the ship of Theseus, or I think that's what it was. That's an actual like thing. They didn't just like make that up. That's an actual thing, and I thought that was really cool.
I guess what I meant by like it was a little bit of a letdown is more like I feel like that should have been 2 episodes where we got a little bit more Vision versus Vision, because that was a pretty epic fight. And then in the middle of a chokehold, he's like, I'm not the real Vision. And then they're like, let's elaborate. It's like, oh, well, I guess that's over.
I don't know. I actually enjoyed that part more than the actual fight.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. And then he leaves and never comes back. So,
yeah, but like, also like now canonically, the Vision, like the real Vision from the other movies is out there somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what I gathered from it, at least.
Right.
I just kind of like it because it reminded me of the Batman versus Superman. And it's just like Martha, bam, over.
Yeah. That's what kind of, it felt like it was written off real quick. Like, yeah. But I like the fighting and I like the dialogue scene. That was really good. I just wish it would have stretched it out a little bit more.
Curious, like what Agnes is going to do. Not to like cut you off, but I'm curious how that's going to play in because they deliberately left that like open cliffhanger there, so she'll be back.
Yeah, that's a very Marvel movie thing to do is to not end the villain, just be like, oh, still out there somewhere. So
So I'm sure we're gonna get more of her in the future.
I hope so.
She's actually, I really like that character. Like she was funny. She was cartoonishly evil.
Mm-hmm.
Had this
Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, and I really like it. I hope she's back.
And the best part was she could acknowledge that she was a TV trope because of the nature of the show was that everything was a TV trope. So she was very Disney villainy, like, you know. I didn't like that.
Yeah, I overall enjoyed this a lot. Like they wanted to do something different and original, and they pull it off, I think.
What do you guys think about Phase 2? Do you guys think it's going to be as successful as Phase 1 has been, or do you think it's going to kind of typical Disney fashion crash and burn?
You mean Phase 3 or is it 4?
I think we're at 4.
Already passed. It's Phase 4 actually.
Oh, it's Phase. Oh, okay. You guys know what I meant though.
Yeah, like the post end game.
Yeah, like going into the new.
Because now we don't have Captain America, we don't have Iron Man. Hulk is kind of a mesh between the real Hulk and some new thing they've done.
I mean, we may not have Black Widow. We don't know.
Right. Yeah. Although they killed off Vision and we're like, oh, Vision's gone. They're like, no, we brought him back. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's here. And we know, like, if you have seen the Loki trailer, you actually see a shot of her, so we don't know what's going down there. Like, if she is that some kind of illusion? Is she coming back? We don't really know.
Yeah, but like, do you guys think the next iteration or the next part of like the MCU is going to be good? Because I have a feeling it's just going to go.
Like, bad. What do you mean? Do you think it's going to be successful money wise or like writing wise?
Both. No, money wise, it's always going to be good. Disney doesn't do bad money wise, except John
it's
Carter.
Got a lot of good faith that people are writing off of, and that's always good for a brand.
But like writing wise, because I mean, like the Star Wars ones, it's a perfect way to compare it because it's it's Disney, but it's Lucas Arts or it was Lucas Arts, right? Either way,
Lucasfilms,
yes, Lucasfilms, but like that had good potential, had good money behind it, and it was just horrible writing, and it was just they milked it dry. And
I just think leadership matters. I think what's his name? Kevin Feige,
I think.
I think it's already proven through 3 other phases that he knows what he's doing, and he'll pull it off. I mean, he's taken Iron Man, who was a C-level superhero before this, and now he's like one of the most well-known superheroes in the Marvel universe. Mm-hmm. Not, all due respect to Robert Downey Jr., who brought it to life, but I mean, like, somebody there had faith that they're like, this guy can be a lead character for a superhero that no one's known. Like Iron Man wasn't really a big deal outside of the comic books for there wasn't a lot of Iron Man shirts. You know what I mean? Like,
do you think they can continue it without making it feel like it's the same old stuff? I ask that because,
no,
Thor Ragnarok, they try too hard with Thor Ragnarok because of the success of the Guardians movies, because they were super, there's a lot of comedy in those movies and people loved that. And like Thor Ragnarok, they tried way too hard to make that funny. And to me, it was just not good. It's like I see that happening.
See, I like Thor Ragnarok was funny.
Yeah, me too.
I think an example of the humor being adapted and failing would have been The Last Jedi.
Well, no, I mean, yes. I just meant with the Marvel movies, but
yeah, I think that as long as they understand that was a very niche thing, that Guardians worked because of the director, not because they could just throw it into every movie. Then I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, because I mean, like I loved so I liked Thor Ragnarok as far as like a movie goes, but there were so many like cringe-worthy parts where they tried to make it funny, and the writing was just like it was a funny part, but like it just wasn't funny.
Yeah,
Like
I think Thor Ragnarok had a lot going for it, though. Like visually, really great. Story was really good. So I think the humor was downplayed, as in like obviously it was a big part of the movie, but like there was so much other things going for it. It was okay.
I felt like they deliberately were like, "Oh, I bet we could squeeze something like a joke in here," and then it's just like, "No, that missed."
This normal character will be played by Jeff Goldblum. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, like in that regard, fantastic. But like, I think the one part that like just like really missed with me was when Thor was trying to be funny while he was swinging around on the chains.
Yeah, there's a lot of dialogue like that where it's like, oh, hold on a second. Yeah.
That entire thing. I was like, that's very like if you were Chris Pratt, you could pull it off, but you're not.
Right. Although he has proven to be pretty funny, and I didn't take him for a funny person before. Like Thor in Endgame, not counting the fat jokes, I didn't really care for that. But like his humor overall was really good, and his humor in Infinity War was really good too. His actual interaction with Chris Pratt was probably some of my funniest moments from him.
He has a very good delivery.
Yeah,
his comedic lines.
I mean, he's a good actor.
Yeah, I am worried about how far these movies are going to go based off of like, because now we're to like the bottom of the barrel superheroes that we can pull out. Like they just introduced the second Captain Marvel, in the WandaVision show. We're stuck with Ant-Man, which I mean, great. Paul Rudd, love him, and Ant-Man, great. But like, who is Ant-Man? I mean? He's no Captain America.
Yeah, but at least. It's showing like they are trying to build a whole new roster of superheroes. Because if you actually see their goals, the movies that are coming out are basically new characters. Like they're getting out the Eternals.
They're new characters.
They're like building this new phase based around.
But see, Star Wars, brand new characters, whole new like slew of characters, but they just went back and redid the exact same storyline over and over and over again.
I don't think we have to worry about that. I don't think they're gonna rehash anything.
Yeah, I think eventually it's bound to happen. Like they have had it too good for too long, to be honest. Like it's amazing what they have pulled off, and eventually it will all come crashing down.
I mean, they're gonna have a couple misses here and there. I'm just
we don't know when it will happen, but as of now, I trust they will try to do original stuff, like because they mostly have pulled it up. So I don't right now. I don't see a reason to worry about, but I guess we'll see in about a year or so.
For me, this pandemic was a good thing that happened. But I mean, like, I benefited from it because, like,
what a good time.
Yeah, we all enjoyed it. Thank God for the pandemic. No, but like, I don't know about you guys, but I was kind of getting superhero movie fatigue. Like, they were coming out like every 2 months. And I was just kind of like, I gotta get my kids into this stuff. We had to like catch up to the end game. It was a lot of movies, and then they were coming out with these characters, Captain Marvel, all this stuff, and it was just like, I kind of want a break. But if you get behind, it kind of sucks. You got it. And I got it. Thank God for the coronavirus. Am I right, guys?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think all the bad stuff, COVID aside, I think the pandemic has actually been probably the greatest things that's happened in modern history, because it's forced changes that we've never seen. Like, I live in the middle of nowhere, Mississippi, and because of the pandemic, it has literally forced this tiny town, this tiny state that is so behind in technology, it's literally forced them into the 20th century. Yeah, they still have ways to go, but like, it's forced their hand. I love the changes that have happened to cinema. I like how Disney Plus has been doing stuff. I kind of like the experience of going to the movie theater, but like, I wish there was another option. I would happily like stay at home and spend, instead of spending $10 on the movie ticket, spending $50 to like watch it at home. And it's starting to happen with Disney Plus. Fortunately, none of the movies they've put out yet are worth the money, in my opinion. But I like that that's starting to become a theme now.
Yeah.
And just stuff like that. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. You know, silver lining, I guess.
So overall, we went off on a huge tangent, which
Yeah,
is
we
fun.
did.
But like, what did you guys feel about the season finale? Like, was it worth it for the 9-episode buildup, or were you kind of like,
Yes and
For me,
no.
Yeah.
It was good. It wasn't great. I don't think it needed to be that long, because at the end of it, you know, what all did we accomplish? Like, they introduced a new hero. Well, maybe hero. You know, you assume, you know, new hero with what is her name now? You know,
Monica Rambeau.
yes. So they introduced her, and you know, she's got powers now. They introduced, I guess, a future new villain or something. I really don't know what she's going to be, you know, like what role she'll play, because like she didn't really give me the vibe of like super evil villain, just more kind of a you know, chaotic neutral kind of person.
about Agnes?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not too far up to date on comic books, so like maybe she is super evil. I don't know, but like I didn't get the vibe that she's going to be like a main antagonist. More.
She has been rewritten through the comic books a lot. She's been like a nanny. She's been like a guardian. She's been evil. She's been like on Wanda's side, almost like what's that woman in the Spider-Man universe? And she kind of controls different timelines.
Madam Web.
Yeah, she kind of plays that role for Wanda a little bit in some comics. So that's kind of the nice thing about having her on that show, was that she was kind of a blank slate. They could have done whatever; it would have been fine.
Yeah, like I don't get the vibe that she's going to be some evil villain. I think she's just going to be an interesting new character. And
I like the setup of where Wanda ended up. Oh shit! I like how they set up this Wanda polishing her craft and studying more about this witchcraft stuff, and how this opens up, like, I don't know, future stories about her. And I don't know if you guys saw the post credits scenes.
Yeah.
So she is in this place. She's studying the book, and she hears the voices of her kids, which that opens up a lot of room for speculation, theory crafting, and I don't know. I just enjoy how she's not really a hero anymore. She's kind of something else. She's doing her own thing. She's not evil, or at least she's not a villain, but she's doing her own thing. And I can see this like there's a lot of potential for it to be used for a good storyline. And I like how this show was basically, it felt disconnected enough so people can just watch it. I know these are characters that have been set up for a long time and stuff, but like it felt more like a single volume of a good run of a comic book. Like I could easily see this being a volume of a comic book, one shot that people would recommend to me. Like I like how closed off it kind of felt.
It reminds me of the Ant-Man movies. It's in its own little world. Like it doesn't affect the whole world. There's no other Avengers helping out, and the villain just kind of wants something for themselves, not like world domination. You know?
Yeah, it's one power. Yeah.
Agnes just wanted, some witch's power, and she didn't really say for what. She just seemed power hungry.
I liked how they were setting up this thing where she's gonna try to take Wanda's power, and oh no, it's too much power. Well, I can hold it, and they were aiming towards that. Like you think that was going to happen. That's a huge trope. That's really stale and boring trope that they do all the time. And in the end, like no, that's not what they were going for. Like they did something else that they set up during the episode, which you could see coming from a mile away, like the thing about the runes.
Yeah, because they really set that up for a couple episodes prior.
Yeah, I know, but for a second there, I thought they were going to do the whole oh no, it's too much power thing, and I was
The
like,
genie
oh,
from Aladdin. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you want the cosmic power? Yeah.
yeah, and I'm glad they didn't do it, but
Yeah.
I don't know, I like it. I know some people complain about the fight scenes because it wasn't really a show about action.
Mhm.
But
They
I
weren't
think
big budget too. That was one
Yeah.
complaint I saw. But like, what do you expect? They
yeah, man,
weren't.
it's a TV show,
Yeah.
and I like it because I don't know, you just need some action in your show. Like it's been 8 episodes of mostly character development stuff, and it's good that we actually got some fight scenes to go along with it.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I liked it overall. I think I maybe didn't like episode 7, which was the Modern Family episode. I think it was called Breaking the Fourth Wall, because nothing happened
Yeah,
until the very end, and even then you're kind of like, well, that could have been a scene in another episode. Like,
Yeah, I feel like it was dragged out a little too long. Because like with everything that was accomplished could have been accomplished a lot quicker and didn't have to be 9 episodes.
it was all a setup for one joke on that episode too, where Vision, they're waiting for like this crew to go by, and they stop and do road work, and he's doing like the fourth wall breaking segment. He's like, wait, well, why am I doing this? And like leaves, and that's the end of the episode. It's like all that for a joke. Like,
yeah, it was a weird choice.
I mean, that was the same thing with Pietro. All of that just for a boner joke.
yeah, it's true.
I'm sure like the people that are mad already took it personally.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, they really set themselves up for failure on that one. And of course, we got a lot of very quotable lines that we're gonna see. I mean, if we were still in the MySpace era, they'd be in the bio of everybody, like with the whole, you are my hope, you are my sorrow, most importantly, you are my love.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, for my anniversary, I got my wife a WandaVision card, so I feel personally offended by your statement right here. I actually printed a WandaVision card for her for an anniversary.
He did.
Not really what I meant, but
He literally did. He sent it in Discord the other day. And
I'm
you
so
just
predictable.
crapped
What was
all
it?
over it.
I don't know, it's just
Literally that quote you just said.
was it really?
no, because that wasn't out already. Something like
I was like, man, that's a depressing quote to send your wife.
nah. It was something along the lines.
You're my sorrow.
Yeah, no. I mean, she is my sorrow, but that's not what I write. It was something along the lines of "You don't need to control my mind to make me love you," something like that.
Oh, that's nice. That's not bad. And you had the one from the episode 8 as well with the that was getting a lot of like love/hate on Twitter as well. The what is grief if not love persevering, I think is what the line was.
Yeah,
And a lot of people were like, that's the best line ever. And a lot of people were like, watch more TV if you think that was the best line ever. But I could see both.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
sure that could be on a lot of,
like people are very nitpicky these days.
I
so.
liked the line. I didn't think it was a
Yeah.
big deal until I saw everybody quoting it
That's
online, and then I was like, "Oh, okay, well, whatever."
That was WandaVision.
Yeah, I'll say that was the end of that. I think
I would
we've
give it a
exhausted
solid-
that topic.
That's a solid 9 out of 10 for me.
The whole series,
Yeah.
9 out of 10. Okay, yeah.
I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Oh.
Wow, just to be contrarian, I was going to give it an 8. It wasn't quite Mandalorian levels of excitement for me, but it wasn't bad either. So like I
wouldn't
gave
know.
it
I
an
haven't
8.
watched Mandalorian.
See, like I give like anything that's a 5. We also don't have like a good rating system that's like standard
Yeah.
between the three of us. Because like for me, 5 is anything that's like good that I'm glad I watched it. Probably won't ever rewatch it, but like I don't feel like it wasted my time. It's like a 5.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, like a 7 is, it was good. If it's on, I'll happily rewatch it. I might put it on for background noise, but I'm not gonna like think about it. It's not gonna be a huge part of my life going forward. Like Game of Thrones for me is like a solid 10, even though everyone hated the finale. All 8 seasons like combined, some of the greatest TV I've ever watched. So like that's a 10 in my opinion.
Yeah. It's a 10. I've never watched Game of Thrones. I don't know. I find it very
really
hard
good.
for a show to be a 10. Like I have to go back and rewatch it, and I don't know if I would do that to any show.
I wouldn't say it's a 10 because the last season sucks, but I know Fred doesn't think this.
I don't think it does.
It does.
We're gonna make an entire segment.
No, it does. Like you yourself have told me, like, yeah, it was a bit rushed, and that's enough to bring it down to a 9 at least.
I think they rushed like one episode on season 8, but you can't because like 1 or 2 episodes were like subpar. It doesn't discredit the last 10 years of that show that we watched.
It does.
I can't wait to watch this show, so I have any idea what you guys are talking about.
No, but you should. Like, I would recommend you watch.
Yeah, you really should.
It's a very good show, and I wouldn't wish for me to not have watched the whole thing because
I've watched the first episode probably 4 times and end up my mind goes elsewhere, and I'm like, I must not like this show. No, I've tried.
You need to like give it a good, honest couple episodes because it's one of those. I mean, any good, epically long series has a couple, has some build up. Mm-hmm. It can't just launch right into it, and it's very Lord of the Rings-esque and how like the story just steadily gets like faster and faster and crazier. Because I mean, George R.R. Martin was obsessed with Tolkien, so like it's written and played in that way. But as far as the TV show, I still think Game of Thrones is probably one of the best ones out there because it changed, it set the bar for modern TV. I mean, like one of the episodes was like $500 million in funding. Like they set the bar crazy high.
Plus, I know that when TV shows were losing Nielsen ratings like crazy, Game of Thrones was the only one to continue to rise somehow. Yeah. So that says something.
I like it. I think it's a perfect show.
All right, well, that was our Game of Thrones section.
I know, right?
3 years too late. Here we are, guys.
We're gonna get a lot of clicks. You have to clip this. Like, it's very.
I still watch Game of Thrones clips. Like to this day, I go on YouTube and watch it just because it's fantastic.
I haven't read the books, so I like to watch YouTube videos about the unexplored continents in the lore. So
if you've read the books, I mean, obviously there's never a good book to like movie adaptation or TV adaptation, but like I think they did pretty freaking good because I've read all the books except the most recent one that came out. I haven't read it yet. Excuse me. But I think it's really, really good. It follows them close enough. They leave out, unfortunately, they do leave out stuff from the book that I think is fantastic, but it's completely pointless in the overall plot line of the entire show. So I understand why they left it out because there's no reason to put it in. So like, I think it was good.
I'm going to keep this segment at the very end of the WandaVision segment on YouTube. So when people are watching it, they're like, what the heck are they talking about?
Why are these people talking about Game of Thrones? Why is this dude saying the last season was good?
We just got our show canceled.
Clickbaited.
Yeah,
I will argue that
I'm going to put the title.
Good.
This is like WandaVision season finale review, and I'm going to start it out with you saying that the last season of Game of Thrones was really good. And then Rick roll through the rest of it.